When the train finally arrived, I was glad of its warmth during the 45-minute journey back across Anglesey and along the coast to Conwy. But as I got out of the train, it was raining hard. I ducked into the nearest cafe and lingered over another overpriced coffee. But with no signs that the rain was going to stop, I had to decide what to do next. It didn't seem like much fun to explore the medieval city walls in a downpour. So in the end I decided to give them a miss and caught the bus to Llandudno instead. Llandudno is a seaside town which lies just along the coast from Rhyl and Colwyn Bay. Having spent the first 10 years of my life in the seaside town of Great Yarmouth, I have a well-developed disdain for the garish amusement arcades, shops full of plastic buckets and spades for the beach, sticks of sugary rock, candy floss, Ferris wheels and dodgem cars that seem to define every English beach town from Blackpool to Bognor Regis. I was expecting Llandudno to be more of the same, and was mentally preparing myself to explore and perhaps purge my antipathy to such places. So I was shocked to find that Llandudno was nothing like the town I had imagined. My assumption that Llandudno would be a Welsh Blackpool or Yarmouth may have been formed by a slightly risque joke that I learned decades ago. It goes like this. 2 nurses in a hospital, one young and pretty, the other older and careworn. The older nurse says to the younger, "Did you see that tattoo on that patient's penis? I wonder why anyone would have Ludo tattooed there." The younger nurse, blushing, responds, "I saw the tattoo, yes, but when I saw it, it spelled Llandudno." There was often a seamy side to English seaside towns. Postcards of cartoon people with exaggerated anatomy and mildly lewd captions were freely available. Usually they display pictures of voluptuous young women, drooling older men, and suggestive captions. The pictorial equivalent of George Formby's racy and risque songs, such as "My Little Stick of Blackpool Rock," "With My Little Ukulele in My Hand," or the voyeuristic "When I'm Cleaning Windows." If you're not familiar with George Formby, look him up on YouTube. You'll soon see what I mean. But Llandudno was nothing like that. Just back from the beach, the broad promenade and a zone of carefully clipped and managed formal bush and tree gardens extend all the way around the bay, separating the sea from the wide shore road. Facing the road and looking towards the beach are block after block of magnificent cream or white 4-story Victorian period hotels, which form an almost unbroken arc around the bay. 100 years ago this must have been the place to be if you had plenty of cash, a sense of your important place in society, and wanted to experience fresh seaside air. It was light years away from the gaudy and cheap beachfronts that I'd had in mind. There wasn't a plastic bucket and spade or suggestive postcard to be seen anywhere.